today?
Yeah, I mean, I thought our effort was really good. May not seem like that. I mean, we definitely had too many mental lapses. Next play mentality, just getting to the next possession. They burned us a number of times there. A lot of their open threes were game plan breakdowns. If we were in scramble mode and rotating, they were making it tough. They cut, they move, they drive, they pass the ball so well. We can live with them taking tough shots. But, the easy ones, the second chance points, the transition scores, we got to clean that up for sure. So I thought the effort was there. It's just making sure mentally we're locked in one possession at a time.
Coach, we always kind of hear the cliched term of hard work that goes into guys improving. But more specifically speaking on Jaren with his rebounding, what have you seen him do, or what has your coaching staff done with him to get him to the point where he can go grab 10 rebounds in a playoff game yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you talk hard work, as you said, it's time, and it's actually coming up with drills to work on things. It's not just watching film. It's actually having intentional work on the floor, creating situations, talking about opportunities defensively and offensively to get rebounds. So every day that we do our individual work, it's not just shoot a bunch of shots or run a bunch of pick and rolls, make a bunch of reads. We have things tailored to each player, and one for Jaren is how do you go get rebounds offensively and defensively. So they have drills set up. Him and Vitali, Darko, all those guys working with them. They do a great job getting him in those situations.
Desmond Bain looked like he was getting some kind of treatment from the bench second half last night. What's his status? What was that about? And any updates, if you have them, on Steven Adams and Zaire Williams?
Yeah, Des just dealing with some general soreness that just crept up in the game, so it was just trying to stay loose. He's doing all right, so feeling a little sore like most of our guys are today, so just trying to get our treatments and stuff, get ready for tomorrow. Steven's still day-to-day, not cleared from the protocols.
Taylor, your bench has been one of the biggest factors in your success this season. It seemed like, early in the fourth quarter there and in the second quarter they kind of had some rough runs. What specifically did you notice in this game, in game one, where your bench wasn't as successful as they've been this season?
Yeah, we just didn't have the pop with the pace that we normally play with. I think taking the ball out of the net too many times, especially on second chance points or breakdowns that led to threes, just kind of killed our pace. The bench thrives off of pace, and whether it's creating steals, turnovers. You asked that question last night. Just we weren't getting the stops. We weren't finishing possessions. We were actually playing good defense too. That's where the second chance points hurt us. So didn't really have the pace there. We studied their game plan, understood what they were doing. We just didn't have the ball movement, and the pressure and the force that we needed to play with. But there was pockets of possessions throughout, the game that we showed our guys saying, hey, this has got to be the plan of attack moving forward for 48 minutes.
Taylor, hi, over here. Ja shot more three-pointers than he did in all but one game this season. How do you balance the ethos of take what the defense gives you versus do what you need to and want to do?
Yeah, I mean, study their game plan. Their game plan is low pickup points, switching, going under. This is something that we've seen, off and on throughout the regular season. We just develop a game plan where we talk about that balance, where we've got to attack early in transition, where, we've got to execute our pick and roll coverage or pick and roll offense a lot better against their coverages. But also those threes are there. He's been able to knock them down at a high rate before too. So if they're there, he's got to take that. But he's also got to be, a force that gets downhill too. We just got to get creative and find better ways to help find that balance.
Steve Kerr said something before game one about not closing off options in game one of a series and starting to figure out what's working and what's not by like a game three. Seemed like you were taking a similar approach of more of a regular season kind of rotation, giving most of your players a shot to sort of see what they look like. Was that sort of the way you went into it? And do you see sort of adjusting or narrowing sort of what you're doing as early as game two or
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff's on the table. I mean, we played what everyone said, 39 hours before, and, I want to keep our guys fresh. I mean, we were having guys playing 40-plus minutes, and obviously you see Melt was out of the rotation, comes and has a beautiful game. So if I'd stuck to the rotation previously, we wouldn't have gotten that output. So trust in our depth. I've done it all season long, and we'll just navigate one game at a time if I need to make any changes.
They back cut Ja late for a Peyton layup. I think Wiggins got in for a rebound at one point. What do you kind of need from him defensively off ball a lot of times against this team?
Yeah, Peyton wasn't his matchup on that play, so completely incorrect on that one. And then we gave up 26 second chance points, and that was all collected by the team.
Taylor, you guys have been in this situation before the last round, but what's the sense you got from your team today?
A lot of confidence, a lot of encouragement. I told the guys I'm super excited. We lost by 1, and we did some good things, and we did some things that are definitely within our control that we can do a whole lot better. And we've responded all season long. We responded last series. Obviously, a different level of playoffs now. Being in the second round, but our guys have always shown that ability to turn the page, get better, understand where we need to be pissed off, but also encourage, saying, hey, we played super hard. We lost by 1. We can beat this team if we played to the standards and the capabilities that we're capable of.
We have time for 2 more. We'll go to Michael, then Sadie.
Taylor, what were some of the main things you noticed on the film in terms of rebounding, because they play that smaller lineup a lot of the times. What did you notice on the glass that allowed them to kind of, even out the rebounding, 17 offensive rebounds, kind of how you guys had?
Yeah, I mean, it's, people are going to make an argument about size and whatnot. It's about just going and getting a hit. I mean, we're just ball watching. So it's the classic stuff coaches deal with all the time. Shot goes up, and it's all 5 of our guys. 1 guy's getting a hit, 4 guys aren't. It's responsible on all 5 to just turn, get a hit. It's the fundamentals of rebounding. So it's got to be better in that area.
Going back to Steven for a second, I know he's still day-to-day. How hard is it game planning for a series where you think you're probably going to get him back at some time, but just not knowing when? And when he does come back, can he get right back in it, or is he not going to be what we saw during the regular season when he comes back?
Yeah, we just take it one day at a time. Obviously, he's in the back of our mind. We have an idea when he could come back. I mean, it's all health-related right now. And then when he is cleared, we're going to get him tried up to speed as quick as possible, as we've done throughout the regular season. And we'll be prepared to adjust and insert, if it's that time. So we just take it one day at a time and try to figure out when someone cleared, when are they healthy, when they're ready, and what does the team need.